JR's not able to join us tonight, but he was on our live last night on Tigs tonight. You can catch that every night, sometime after 7. I think that needs to be the default. 7 or later, Tigs tonight. Every day it's going to change.
Yeah, but, I'm sorry. I've missed that here a little bit lately. It's just been, I've had crazy schedules going on.
No, you've been
just
absolutely swamped. And, I mean, it's no fault of your own. You're busy. You're starting a new gig. Everybody gets it. But I did have to answer for you way more than I needed to this past week at the BARP party. You were missed for sure. And I didn't send you, and you can attest to this, I did not send much communication throughout the deal except for the journey, which we're going to get into.
You did not.
I didn't want to. I knew it was hurting you. I didn't want to upset you as we were going along because I knew that you would want to be there.
See, you know what? I had the exact same, the exact opposite thought. Like I said, I want to be involved more vicariously. I want him to show me more. But I thought, so selfishly, that's what I wanted. But I thought you just wanted to take it all in and not have to be dealing with having to send me anything. So I didn't want to disrupt
both
taking in the moment.
True.
I think so too. Because I did see, I think it was Big Buck walking around. He had somebody on FaceTime the whole time. And I was like, I wish Brantley would bring me on FaceTime. And
well, you should have texted me and told me that.
In fairness, that's all I had to have done. But I didn't want to make you feel obligated because I knew you were taking it in. I did hawk you down one time. You see that video I sent you of you?
You saw me meet Stacy G, but I haven't listened to it. I just saw it and laughed at it. I think I answered you from the deal, and I haven't listened to it yet. But.
Yeah, that's so good. I got on the live feed and I was watching. I saw you, so I zoomed in to where you were, and then I could hear the audio was actually picking up a little bit. So I was listening to you talking. I watched you for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, I stood right there for like 20 minutes. So. God bless it. There's so many people that I met. First of all, I had to make a list of everybody. So first let me say shout out to Big E. Awesome meeting Big E. Of course, cool. John Costeca. Hung out with him at the bar and Big E and Big Country. Rainey, got to visit with Rainey. Mike Rucker and his lovely wife Amber, who she wears the Tigs Bits hat way, way, way better than all of us. I walk into the whole deal, Blasey, and I see a Tigs Bits hat.
Are you kidding me?
No,
she had a Tigs Bits hat on at BARP.
At BARP. Yes.
So cool.
Yes,
dude.
I did not. She did. I had a Bubba hat on. Stacy G, of course, and you saw me meet Stacy G. What a lovely lady. I told JR last night when we were doing our live, we talked a little bit about some of this stuff, but I was like, yeah, I'm keeping it on the surface. I'm keeping this for the Bubba show. But she did, we talked about this during one of these shows, one of these lives that we did about making a Jewish brisket. And we never really continued that conversation. I was like, what is that? Never finished it. We talked, she's going to get the recipe, I believe she said, from her sister. And I'm going to make a video of it, and I'm going to cook a Jewish brisket and see what that's all about.
I don't know anything about a Jewish brisket.
Me either. I have no idea. And I told her, don't even explain it. I want no bias, nothing. I just want to enjoy it. I'm going to cook it right. I promise you I can do that. And we're going to see. But yeah, so that's something to look forward to. It's so nice to meet her as well. Got to meet Fish on Jay. He's in the chat a lot. Super nice dude.
Man.
Yeah, he loves our show too. And that's what's crazy, Blasey. All the love that I got from everybody that I'm naming here and more people. I'm leaving people off. I'm so sorry for doing that, but met so many people. Absolutely nothing but love. And
that's so cool.
It really helped me. I needed that. I needed that little shot in the arm of like, I didn't know where we stood with I didn't know where we were at here.
Yeah.
Because if you read Reddit, we're about out of the door.
I've never even been on Reddit, so I'm glad I don't go.
Don't do it.
I won't start tomorrow either. But
it's not worth your time. if you read some of the chat, look, I know we're not for everybody. I know we're going to rub somebody the right way. You may not like our voice or our accent or the way we talk, what we talk about. But one thing is for sure, I didn't get that impression whatsoever in Tampa, Florida at the BRN headquarters at all. Nothing but love.
No, that's amazing. And I've still got more questions for you, but
oh, I know you do.
To your point,
we haven't even started with that.
To your point, though, like, all right, so when I went the first time, the first Bubba Army appreciation party thing at the baseball game, not this past summer, but the summer before, 2023, dude, it sounds a little crazy, but I bet you had the same experience. It's a little bit surreal too, because you get there and it's like, especially all these people and these names you've heard from the show and all this. It's a little bit kind of like, I mean, I'm not trying to overplay this thing, but it really is. It was kind of like a Field of Dreams type thing. People walking up to you, it's like, oh my God, it's like these people really exist. You know what I mean? Like all these people coming up, introducing themselves to you. It's like, it's very surreal. Yeah, like, and I can't imagine, like, those parties were awesome, right? But I can't imagine now. Let's add the BARP level. Just at BARP, you're getting the ring, you're seeing the Hall of Fame stuff and all that. Like, I bet it was a crazy feeling, huh? A little bit.
It was rushed, not by them, by me. So I didn't have a chance. Like, I'm taking it in now. That's what I told JR last night. I'm still processing this whole deal, really and truly.
I get it.
It may be a month before I can actually tell you everything that happened, because it's like it just happened so fast. It was all got there, didn't get there till 3:00. We'll get into that. Didn't get to Tampa until Saturday at 3:00. The event started at 8. You know, my window of opportunity to do the things that I like to do it was a shorter window, but I got it done. I got things accomplished.
But you're no quitter, that's for sure.
I'm not a damn quitter.
Son.
No, I'm not.
I'm proud of you, because I thought it was over with when the journey began. Within a few hours, I thought the journey was over. Like, I really did.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
So let's walk us through that a little bit. Like, like what your plan was. Just tell us what happened. I mean, because you went through some crap there.
I did. One more shout out though. I think I said Bob Cook. Got to talk to him a lot. Bob's cool. Craig and Rio, Gary Cantrell. Oh yeah, I met. They were my very first impression of them was exactly the way it should be. I'm standing there at the side, kind of where you come in the gate, and that back door, where you type the keypad in to go into the studio. All of a sudden, that door opened quickly, Cheech and Chong style, and here they both stumbled out. Like, it was awesome. And then I had not been in there yet, so I had no idea the setup, what it was like. Yeah. In fact, how I got in there was with Alex Stein. We went in together. He knew the keypad, so we'll get to Alex. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, forgot about that. All the people, everybody that y'all know, I got to meet them all, of course. But my MVP that night, beyond Biggie, Kosteka, and all them, Jay from NOLA. See, Jay and I didn't know he was going to be there. Jay used to produce our Sunday night show whenever we were on ESPN radio here in Baton Rouge with Guarantee Media, Matt English, and I, The Bottom Line. He was our producer on Sunday nights. He worked for the radio station. It was there. He's also a Baton Rouge cop. He's a drummer in a band, too, here locally, which we're going to have them on the show at some point this year. He and I have been talking about that for a while, but to have him there and then just get to catch up, it was like having somebody from home with me, and he introduced me to a lot of people too, which was great because I didn't, I don't know faces and I don't know all these names quite as much as you guys do. Yeah. I'm learning, but anyhow, so what was your question? How this whole thing began?
Let's go your journey,
rewind it back to the beginning.
Your journey leaving. Yeah. Just like, the obstacles that you ran into, how you thought you overcame and how you thought you finally hit another just like absolutely debilitating obstacle, and then suddenly I think you overcame again and you ended up there. So how did that all happen?
I think that we can say the name of this trip is Overcoming Adversity. And so And it was full of it. So it was a week ago as we're recording this, a week ago today. I had a rental car rented, lockdown, whatever, at Enterprise, and I had to be there at 10:30 to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I didn't make it at 10:30. I didn't realize I had to actually be there at that exact time, whatever. But still, get there. She said it wouldn't have mattered. We don't have any cars, and no one in this area has cars. I was like, what's going on? What's the run on cars? Doesn't matter. That ended that. The truck it is. Okay, I got the oil change. I was prepared. I had the oil change, tires rotated, all that good stuff, just in case this were to happen. And it did. The thing that sucked, 40 minutes from my house to the other side of town where I was going to get this car, 40 minutes back, wasted an hour and a half of my day on that. So didn't leave Baton Rouge until 1 p.m. We're already behind 4 hours on this whole deal just from everything. All right. But it worked out. I said, hey, our favorite little brewery, one of our favorites is in Hammond, Gnarly Barley, is open. They have a double Juicifer IPA. I haven't been able to find it here yet. It just came out. Let's stop there and buy some for the trip. And hopefully they have their little restaurant across the street open. We'll get a hamburger, whatever, which is what we did. Picked all that up, had a good little hamburger. We're coming back into it. We're getting back. Everything's starting to work out a little bit better. And then about 50 miles down the road or so, we get to Diamond Head, Mississippi. Coming under this overpass, traffic, I can see them way up there. They're starting to stop. I stop behind this car, and then this 18-wheeler was at a dead stop.
Yeah.
And then I look in my rear view mirror, and I see this white van coming. And I can tell it's slowing down, though. And I'm like, all right, you know how it is. You're in traffic, you're looking, and you're like, God, I hope they see me. I hope they see me. They do. And then I'm still just kind of watching, but I'm not really looking in my rear view mirror. And then all of a sudden, Dukes of Hazzard style comes this silver Chevy Malibu coming wide open. I mean, wide open. And he locked up, hit the van behind me, and there's a barricade wall, with the big the big concrete wall barriers. They're doing something in the median there, and so they had those up to protect the people in the middle. Thank God, because this guy would have ran right over one of them. And so this dude's navigating, riding one tire is on the damn wall. I could see him in my mirror. He's coming. I just went, oh crap, or hold on.
So he was intentionally doing this. He wasn't like had to stop and try to miss a car.
He wasn't.
He was just rocking.
He never saw that car stopped, is what happened. Is God knows what he was doing or what he was on, but he drove the hell out of it. I'm not going to lie. He hit that car, hit the back, blew the tire out, hit the wall, drove on it, trying to avoid me, hits me in the back, hits me at the bumper and the tail light, and then slams into the gas tank, kind of right where the gas
the whole
cap's
side
out.
There. It's like you've gone down the side of an RV or something. Yeah.
And then bam, right into the back of that 18-wheeler, dude. If he had been a foot over to the right, he's dead. That dude's probably decapitated. His his engine is under that
coming
truck.
in that windshield on the passenger side.
But he didn't. He hit there. And what do you think happened to this crackhead? The first thing that he does is he jumps out of the window, I guess, that was open, Dukes of Hazzard style, and just starts to run and takes like 3 or 4 steps, stops, turns back around because I think it hit him. Oh, God, I hope I didn't. What have I done? I'm out of the truck at this point. Like, what in the hell, dude? What's wrong with you? Like what happened? And he's blaming the guy behind. He checked up, man. He checked up. Like, nobody comes in that fast. If he was checked up, he was basically full damn throttle when he hit the one behind me. He probably hit me at 50.
God.
At least. It may have been, it could be exaggerating, but it barely moved the truck. Like, no movement. So we're fine, but we got to wait on the police to get there and all that stuff. And I'm like, I know this jackass doesn't have insurance. He doesn't.
Oh.
And yeah, so he's there, and that's the one thing that I did say the cop was there, and he's like, I got insurance, man. I swear I do. I swear I do. And I knew he didn't. Long story long on this part. The next thing we know, he is getting carried away in handcuffs. He was arrested on the scene. Not only did he have insurance and invalid license, but he also had 2 warrants out for his arrest.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
he was who you thought he was.
He's exactly who I thought he was.
Yeah.
I knew who he was. So then but the folks in Diamond Head, Mississippi could not have been any nicer. The cops, everybody super fantastic. Not an experience I want anybody to go through, but it couldn't have gone better, and they were helpful. Got shout out to the 18-wheeler driver. My tire on my driver's side, man, I didn't even have a pinky size. My pinky wouldn't fit in between the little slit where it had bent my mud flap. You needed a star wrench to be able to take that off. He had it, and he was able to help me take that off, and then that opened that up, so I was no longer worried about rubbing that or hitting something, because I think I would have. It would have blown the tire out.
Yeah.
Which did happen on further down the road. So we get going. The cop was nice. He told me, you got to fix the tail light. You need to fix that tail light if you're going to go on to Tampa, but I would fix it. And I went, yeah, that's a good idea. So we go on down the road about 20 minutes to an Advanced Auto Parts, pull in there, get the stuff. Like everything's just really is worked out though. Guy with the wrench, go to Advanced Auto Parts. They have one little plastic shield. They have one more roll of duct tape.
Oh, you actually were able to put a shield up there,
I got
too,
a
to make
shield
it red
over
again.
it.
Huh?
Oh yeah, it looks like a whole brand new. It doesn't look brand new at all. But I mean, yes, it's street legal is what it is. And new bulb, and we're on our way. We're going about 10 or 15 minutes. Now, I was monitoring the tire pressure on my truck this whole time because I know that jackass hit that tire. I can't prove it, but he didn't hit the rim or anything, but he had to, where he hit, he had to have at least touched the tire. So I'm watching the air pressure on it just to see if anything weird happens with it. And nothing is. And then all of a sudden, the passenger side rear tire the gauge is going down. And I'm like, you think this is just a coincidence because we got in a little wreck and this thing's all monitors all wrong or whatever? I went, well, we're not going to take a chance. We're going to pull off here. I think it is. We're right at the Biloxi exit at this point. The last one, like there's nothing, where I'm talking about. There's nothing else past it. Pull right into that Hampton Inn. Whenever I noticed it, it was at 26 pounds. When I got in the parking lot of the Hampton Inn, it was at 22 pounds. I got out and I had a little manual deal. I didn't even have to check it. I was like, yeah.
You could see it. Yeah.
There's a flat there. So I went and moved over, parked in the flattest spot in the parking lot, told my wife, Tammy, we're done. I ain't going anywhere else. I'm not changing that tire. We're staying here in this Hampton Inn tonight, and we'll figure it out in the morning.
Well, that's when I get the text, though, from you.
That's when you got the text.
It says, I'm out. We're done. I've canceled the room in Tampa. This is over with. The trip ended here. Because I can only imagine your frustration. I mean, you didn't get.
I was beyond frustrated.
Then you get hit. Then you have a few things line up for you after getting hit. Going down the road. Now you got a flat tire on top of it. I get it. But I was still pumping you on. I was like, come on, man.
You were definitely cheering me on, and it was a moment of weakness. You know what I mean? Like it's what it was. You
almost felt like you didn't need to go. You know what I mean? Like something's telling you to get your ass to the house.
That's the conversations that we had. Like something's telling us that we're not supposed to go on this trip. And I don't know if we're supposed to listen to this or what, but my God, we couldn't be off to a worse start here,
No.
So, but I agreed and settled down. A couple hours later, you could tell it was back in play.
Yeah.
After I just needed to, you got that text immediate, like got to the room, just giving y'all updates. Wake up the next morning and I go to the truck. This is how it starts the next day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the spare on and I'm going to go find a tire shop. I couldn't get the lock to unlock to even get the spare out. It would not come out. I went, oh my God. Now I look on the thing again. They had told me at the front desk. Shout out to the girl at the front desk at the Hampton Inn, by the way. She's a sleuth. And we told her the whole story of everything when we checked in. They gave us a great rate for the night. I think we only paid $93, which,
well, that's awesome.
Shout out to them.
Heck
but
yeah.
she wrote this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
Thomas. Yep.
So Thomas Everett's the jackass who hit me. He was arrested and booked at 6:48 p.m. He's 5'4" and 36 years old. Looks exactly like you think he does. She was great, Jordan at the Hampton Inn. She told me about this tire shop, and that's where I was going to go. I was going to see if they'd come look at it, and that's why I was like, I ain't jacking this thing up. I'm not going to mess with it. Man, I didn't even look on the maps until the key situation wouldn't happen with my truck. There's a tire shop right across the street. Like, Jordan, why didn't you just tell me this? I walked to it. They opened at 7:30 as well. It was like 7:45. I went, this is perfect. So I walk over there, told them what was up. They could not have been any nicer. World of Tires, I do believe, something like that. I can't remember the name of them, but they could not have been any nicer. Come over. Grab the tire, take it off. I have to get a new tire. No big deal. Brings it back, puts it on, and looked at the truck. I was like, look this thing over beyond the very obvious cosmetic damage that's done.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you keep going to Tampa or should we stay local? I wasn't going home.
Yeah.
It was just like, should we stay in Biloxi and work our way back in this, or should we let's go put 1,000 miles on this bitch? What do we do?
You still got a ways to go. It ain't like you're halfway there.
No, we're 2 hours into the trip. We're 2.5 hours into the trip.
And you got what? Still 8 hours plus 8.5 left?
Yeah. A ways to go. So we got the tire on, and I went and took it for a test run. And it's 8 miles to the next exit from where we were at. And that tire was going to go flat before we got to that 8 miles. So you talk about a godsend. Everything worked out.
Yeah.
That's what we started telling ourselves.
So now
everything
you were there for a reason.
Out.
You hit this exit. This happened now instead of a little bit down the road in Van Cleve or something. Yeah.
That explained the worst vibration I was feeling in the truck too. Once we got the new tire on it, it felt fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we rolling. That's whenever I sent you the text that we push east. And push east we did. We went to Lake City and had a great, stayed there because it was like, if we get to Tampa on Friday night, it's going to be 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
By the time we get there, and what good are we really going to go get in at 10?
Yeah.
So I was like, we'll just stop at Lake City. And we ate at this awesome little Mexican restaurant, had a great little experience, had a margarita, and, went back to the room, and on the trip goes. But great little hotel there. They had a good gym. I hit the gym that morning, a great little continental breakfast.
Oh, yeah, just
they
a nice
had a
little fresh
printer.
start.
You know those pancake printers? You ever see, I call it a pancake printer. It'll drop the pancake out, and it's got this conveyor belt. It just makes pancakes.
Oh, I know
looks
what
like
you're
a 3D printer.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm a big Hilton guy. I like Hilton stuff. I know you're a Marriott guy. I like them too. But this was a Hilton place. Excellent. Checkout time, noon. We leave there. Check-in time at a hotel in Tampa, 3 o'clock.
Perfect time.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that's exactly how it happened too. We got there right at 3 and everything was rocking and rolling. And then we go and meet Costeca and all of them. So that's the very long-winded journey that I did not share the whole thing last night on the show. I gave them an abbreviated version.
Man, that's a heck of a journey you went on. Like you said, overcoming adversity is what you did there in that trip. And most people would have given up there. And you know what? Kind of, rightfully so. That's a lot of crap,
It's not a good start.
Yeah, I know. I heard on Bubba, they thought that you came, and they thought that me or JR got in a wreck. And I was like, no, the one that got in a wreck's the one that made it. The two other ones that did not get into a wreck or did not make it, So yeah, I was in a Hampton Inn as well that weekend, but I was in Greenville, Alabama. But I had a great trip hunting with my son. I ended up having to check down with work. I had to be back here on Sunday. Couldn't leave till, it was like, I can't go. You know what I mean? I'd have to get up at 4 a.m., and I've got my son. So it just did not work out. Like it just, talking about square peg, round hole deal. As much as I hated it, it was done. So we did go hunting though, which was fun. And we made waffles.
Really, this whole trip was just going from hotel to hotel. That's what we just went and did. But it couldn't have been more fun. Happy 50th birthday to my lovely wife, Tammy. Happy 50th. It'll be this Sunday. This was part of our trip. I knew when we were at that Hampton Inn, bro, she broke down a little bit. That's why I was finished at that point. I'm like, not finished. Like we got to figure something out. I wasn't 100% sure how much she wanted to make it to Tampa as much as she just wanted to be on the road. Let me tell you, she wanted to make it to damn Tampa. She was bound and determined to go to this BARP party. And I think everybody there that met her would say, they have said, I outkicked my coverage. They all loved her. We didn't come in as hot as expected, Blasey. That's why pretty much played it. Gonna be honest, that's pretty straight for all things considered. Like I would liken my level to, I don't know, maybe like a big game in early September where it's just too damn hot to get too damn lit. That's what I'd liken it to.
I get it. No, I get it. I mean, I think that's the way I rolled in.
But I also wanted to remember everything too.
I get it. I get all the above, and there's a lot going on there. There's plenty of personalities in that room. You didn't have to go be part. You didn't have to create a show. There's a lot of shows going on.
I just enjoyed visiting with everybody. Captain Creamsicle, of course, got to meet him and visit with him and Miss April.
Yeah, the captain and his wife, The
cap and his wife. Macho Man. I saw Macho Man. I was like, damn, that is Macho Man. That's Macho Man. I was like, hey, Macho Man, I'm Tigs. And he's like, hey. That was that. It was great. Lasker almost ran over me in the parking lot. There's that Bubba video of his entrance. I'm at the very end whenever it stopped, and you can I zoomed in on me. You can kind of see I went this way. One thing was for certain, we played chicken, and he was coming straight, and we had to move. He wasn't moving, and so I just didn't know which way I should move, but I got out of the damn way of Lasker, and wasn't just a few seconds after that, Alex Stein and I, Cantrell's got it. I don't know how the audio was. I don't know how it plays or anything, but he recorded it. Me and Stein did a deal, and I was like, I don't know if we can say this in this time and era. Well, actually, I think we can. We just got in a Mexican standoff. I got in a Mexican standoff with Lasker, and I lost. I mean, it's just a bottom line. I wasn't going to get ran over. I mean, that guy's killed a guy. I'm not going to be the second one that he kills. Something along those lines. So, I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day, but it was still hilarious.
I can't wait to see it. Alex Stein's a big dude, isn't it?
He's a lot taller than I thought, for sure. Yeah. He really is, man.
I think he's like 6'5" or something. I mean, he's a big dude.
Oh, I believe that. Totally. Yeah. Yes, he's way taller than I thought he was. It was awesome. He was talking. I saw him, and then I came up, and he turned and looked at me, and then we gave each other a hug. He was like, Tigs. And I was like, wait, you really actually know who I am? That's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Of course he does. He's a supporter of our show, but it's still just kind of mind-blowing to me.
I get it. That's cool.
It's hard for me to get out of this little bubble that we're in. I still just think I'm here in this studio looking at this computer monitor, looking at you, and then get out of this room, and it's like, oh, wait. Real people actually watch us. These folks are real too. What the hell is going on? Why do y'all like us? So I get it. We're great. We're nice. We're good. We're just some good old boys making some good old noise.
That's it, man. Dude, that's so cool, man. I'm very jealous. Very, very, very jealous. But I'd let that. When I let it go, that's why I called this. I just let it go. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, you know what? I just can't go. I know Brantley's going to have a good time. I'm not going to sit here and pout over it like a little kid. Maybe I did pout for a little while, but after that,
I'm sure you did. I would too. A little FOMO.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's awesome, dude. I wish
it was fun. Now I'll tell you of everybody there who, and I love them all. I love them all. Of the people who work at the BRN. I think the cat that I would probably become, like, we might be best friends. Who?
Rhett.
Rhett was so busy that I didn't get to visit with him much, but we did talk for a second, and I got very good vibes from him.
Yeah,
close.
He's a cool dude.
Colton.
Oh, yeah,
Colton. We hit it off,
dude. He's great.
Yeah.
I knew that. I was like, I want you to talk to Colton. And Colton gets along with everybody. He's really good. He's like the JR of their group too. We talked about that one time before. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I love that dude, man. We had a great time. He's super, super cool. At the very end, I was leaving. Not gonna lie, I know everybody was going to the dollhouse and all of that stuff. After this trip Tiggy had, plus I had brunch. So Sunday morning, we had to be out of the hotel by 10:15 or so we could go make brunch with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Lord, that weather was terrible Sunday morning. That, can't do anything about that. It was at Lona or something like that we went to. Is at the Marriott downtown. So I got to go to downtown.
Yeah.
Is that where they did the Super Bowl deal? Like where Tom Brady threw the Super Bowl trophy was down
that's
in that area?
That's the Hillsborough. So the Hillsborough River is right behind all that. Yeah, it runs through there. So yes, all through there.
Somewhere along that. Yeah, that's what it looked like when I was there. Man, that is so cool. Like I want to go back to Tampa whenever I can actually, experience it for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I want to do that. But anyhow, at the very end of the deal, I wore my ring, and I don't have my ring to show you. I will show you later. Actually, Seth and I had this conversation. He's like, "What are you going to do with their rings? Do you need to get their rings?" I went, "Already got them. I don't know if they'll ever get them. I'll be honest with you." She's like, "You'll get your ring, but I don't know when. It may be forever." But at the very end, I was wearing it upside down, as I've now seen in pictures, but I wasn't paying attention. And I go to give Colton a big old hug, and boom! I just slung that sucker.
Did you really?
Slung it, yeah. But it's fine. It didn't break or anything. No.
Wow,
dude, the ring. I mean, it's like a Super Bowl ring. It is well made. It's like your Justin senior ring on steroids. It's a Super Bowl ring. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Dang, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw the picture of it, dude. That thing's pimp. That thing's awesome.
It is. It totally is. Well, dude, what else? You got any other questions for me for this trip?
No, man. I mean, I think that's it. Sounds like, you overcame adversity. You made it down there. You had a good time. You didn't overdo it. You didn't ruin us down there. That's what JR was a little worried about. You might overdo it. Kind of just go down there, it all implodes for us. But you didn't do that. And
that could have happened too. Yeah,
you slow played it like you should. I get it.
Kind of proud of myself, to be honest.
As you should be. As you should be.
One last little shout out though. The ride home was so much smoother. We left. We went to Tallahassee on Sunday, and that was the original destination on Thursday when we left.
Yeah.
I found this little hotel. It's called the Bob Hotel, B-O-B, boutique on budget.
Oh.
I was like, okay. But it had a cool looking lobby and all that. While we were on our way to Tampa, I needed to get gas, and I said, let's just stop. There's a Chevron right by that hotel. Let's stop there, get gas, and look at it and see if we actually want to stay there on the way back. Went in the lobby. The dude remembered me because I canceled the room, and he helped me hook me up with a credit on that. And he remembered the conversation, was kind of shocked that we stopped by just to look at the lobby. And so it's like, yeah, dude, we're going to stop back here on Sunday night. So we did. Great little place. Bob, boutique on budget.
I have to check out Bob.
You got to check out.
I've never heard of it. Yep.
You know how much it costs?
How much?
$100.
Dang, there you go.
And it's like $87 during the week. So I mean, it's not expensive. They gutted this old Sleep Inn and just totally redid it. It's just really, really cool. All the little things they have in it. They have great pizza, fantastic pizza. They have a little pizza oven. They have a great little breakfast in there and a little continental breakfast too. So check them out if you're ever traveling through Tallahassee. They didn't pay for anything. They didn't give me a room or anything. Just my wife loved it. So if you're wanting to go somewhere, you're wanting to go somewhere that's not that expensive,
Yeah.
and you're traveling, great place to stop. So I had to give those guys some love. And then it worked out good because we're in Tallahassee. And I'm like, hey, this snowstorm's coming. We got to rip ass to get back to Baton Rouge, but we're going to get groceries here at Walmart in Tallahassee. So we got some stuff and got the essentials. I had my cooler in the truck loaded up. Perfect deal. And shout out to Tallahassee for
that's awesome, man. That's
for
awesome.
people not going crazy over the snow and ice in Tallahassee like they were basically pretty much starting at the next exit. From there on home, it would have been terrible.
Yeah, that's wild. Dude, I like Tallahassee. Dude. That's a good little town over there. I used to go. There's a cool pizza place over there. What's it? Mimo's. That's what I was trying to look up. Mimo's Pizza.
Yeah, you sent me.
Not a bad little spot at all, man. They got those big giant pizzas too. Like I've seen people walk out, like couldn't even get it in their car, have to put it on top and leave. But the pizza's good. But yeah. Well, dude, man, I'm glad you had a great trip there. I'm glad it all worked out. You know, a little bit eventful, which kind of goes with the territory, right?
It led to a whole podcast, which is exactly what we were hoping would happen, which is what the motivation was, Blasey.
Yeah.
Then what you told me, like, this is going to make a heck of a story if you actually make it there. And I'm like, oh, trust me, I know. And that's the goal. That's the goal. So, hey, after we talked, it was no doubt that that we were going to make it come hell or high water, or I was just going to completely implode and rip my truck up. One of the two, but it was, don't anybody ever question if I'm Bubba Army or not. Ever again.
Ever.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Boom.